Oh, you musical demon, such a honey dream. Won't you play some rag? Just change that class to some sweet, beautiful drag. Nobody can plug a song like the songwriter.
I see.
Yeah, because the songwriter catches fire if he's any good and if he believes in his stuff. And you caught fire. Mr. Joplin, I presume.
I am.
The king of ragtime.
The Tin Pan Alley Rag is about a fictionalized meeting between Scott Joplin and Irving Berlin. And I say fictionalized because there's no real evidence that the two ever actually met in real life, but they were both, very active in the ragtime game at the same time in New York.
So the show explores the music of Irving Berlin and Scott Joplin. Both were named King of Ragtime at one point in each of their lives.
I've heard Irving Berlin called the king of ragtime.
I am.
They were two really different men. They both composed similar types of music at a similar time, but Scott Joplin seemed to be more interested in the art of music and not necessarily what would make him a lot of money.
Joplin sort of becomes, in a very interesting way, sort of an inspirational figure to Berlin, but also Berlin inspires Joplin.
Basically, you're picking up the rhythms of what the city was like, and everybody was fast, and that's what that whole office was like for a long time. I mean, couldn't waste a lot of time. If a guy had a song, you knew it in 5 seconds. If he didn't, out the door.
Tin Pan Alley was on West 28th Street between 5th and 6th Avenues. And it was called Tin Pan Alley because, as people would walk by, you could hear, because of all these, offices where they were producing this music, people said that it sounded like someone was banging on a tin pan with a wooden spoon from the tinny pianos as people were sort of composing and selling and pitching or plugging songs.
He's not so
good in a crowd, but when you get him
alone,
sorry,
you'd be surprised. That's it.
He isn't much at a dance, but then when he takes you home, you'd be surprised.
Right.
Irving Berlin is everywhere. I mean, it's part of, it's a part of our Christmas music, which is really shocking because he was Jewish.
Many people are familiar with Irving Berlin's music, but are unfamiliar with the fact that he published well over 1,000 songs. He was extremely prolific. So some of the material that you'll hear in the show is music that you've never heard before.
A lot of people slightly might be think they're coming in and going to hear all of Irving Berlin's catalog. This just deals with a specific time frame, and he's got some great hits in that time frame. I Love a Piano was just a great little, hit. Alexander's Ragtime Band at the time was the biggest hit that the world had ever seen in terms of music publishing.
For me, it's sort of kind of a full circle moment in my life because I grew up playing piano and I remember playing the Maple Leaf Rag in piano competitions. So for me, working on the show and learning the actual lives of these composers is completely, when we talked with Stafford Arima, our director, about it, it was sort of embarrassing to, realize how little we knew about them. And, someone like me who grew up playing their music and not having the first clue about their lives. So it's really great to be able to now learn so much about them, and I think it's important, and that's one thing that our audience will take away is just a knowledge of these two great American composers.
More than anything, it's just a really beautiful piece. It's intimate, and you immediately dive into this time in the past.
It's a breath of fresh air to go back to a time and realize what the energy of New York City was at that particular time.
The best thing about this show is it's not what you expect. And I think that's what's quite beautiful about it. I think they'll be surprised. You're going to walk away learning stuff by accident. It's not like you're being hit over the head by information. And I think they're going to be really moved.
There's dancing, there's singing, there's songs by Irving Berlin, Scott Joplin that people will remember and they'll tap their feet to. There's opera, and there is, incredible. Liza Gennaro has done an incredible job choreographing some of those old ragtime dances. So truly, they're coming to see what I consider to be a little Valentine of a show. A sweet, honest, historical, truly enjoyable evening.
I think at the heart of the story It says a lot about art, the nature of art, about friendship, how art is created. And I think these people who we consider icons, it's very easy for us to forget that they're human beings and that they had life experiences and pain in life that helped shape the music that we know today.
So you can keep your fiddle and your bow can be a Piano. I love to stop right beside an upright or a higher toned